Order at 7:02 on December 8th, 2020. This is the Needham Board of Library Trustees and Carol Thomas, the chair. As a preliminary matter, I need to go through this each time. I'm sorry for those for whom this is quite repetitive. I need to confirm that all members are and persons anticipated on our agenda are present and can hear me. Please respond when I call your name. Anne McFate.
Here.
Dimitri Kirakis,
Here.
Assistant Director. Jeff Arnold,
Here.
Recording Secretary. Thank you. Daniel Tawa, Archivist. Is that you?
Yep.
Yes. And our members. Anna Geraldo Kerr. Here. Rick Hardy,
Here.
Tom Harkins,
Yep.
Bob Pettit,
Here.
Jay Fialko,
Here.
Jay Cahill,
Here.
and myself. So we're all here except for Joan Smith. I think you're here too.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. This is an open meeting. It's being conducted remotely due to the state of emergency in the Commonwealth and consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020. The order allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded. This meeting will allow public comment by means of the chat function only. For this meeting, the Board of Library Trustees is convening by Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join in. Please note that the meeting's being recorded and that all participants are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that others may be able to see you, and please take care not to screen share your computer. Anything you broadcast may be captured by the recording. For effective and clear conduct of our business, for compliance with the governor's executive order, and to ensure accurate meeting minutes, we'll observe these ground rules. The chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, chair will invite members by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. To the extent practicable and within the bounds of open meeting law requirements for conducting a virtual meeting, we will keep the meeting style informal, as is our practice. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. And for any response, if you would please wait until I recognize you so that we don't talk over one another. You can feel free to wave to get my attention, or Dimitri will cue me in if I'm in another world. After members have spoken, I'll afford public comment by means of chat. Anyone who's is wanting to be recognized by chat can needs to identify his or her name and address only. And Dimitri, if you would be the one to cue me in if you see something there.
Sure.
Thank you. Each vote taken at this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote, a requirement of the governor's executive order. I now am going to request, as I have in the past, a motion to automatically continue this meeting to January 12th, 2021 at 7 p.m. with the same Zoom ID number as this one, which is our next regularly scheduled meeting. If any technical difficulties should arise tonight that keeps us from completing our meeting. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Anna. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Let's just go down the list. Anna?
Yes.
Kay?
Yes.
Rick?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Rob?
Aye.
Jay?
Aye.
And I for me, unanimous. Thank you very much. So let's get on with it. The minutes of our November meeting. Thank you, Jeff, and thank you to our secretary, Kay, for getting these reviewed.
Yes.
I had a few little things. I don't know if others did as well. Page 3, Number 5, paragraph 5. I think this is not quite what we were saying. State aid, in the middle of the paragraph, it begins, the state aid reporting sheet lists various encumbrances. I think it should say for recurring expenses, or that trustees believe that recurring expenses to provide library services should be paid by the town.
Expenses as compared to encumbrances?
Well, we list them as encumbrances, so encumbrances is okay,
Okay.
but it's encumbrances for recurring expenses that the trustees believe should be paid by the town.
Where are you reading from?
I'm in the middle of that first paragraph. It starts.
What,
with
what,
state-
nu- what number is it on the?
Number 5, financial
All right.
report.
Oh, I'd gone by it, sorry.
Page 3, number 5, first paragraph. Sorry, I didn't say first paragraph.
About 6 lines down, the state aid reporting sheet lists.
Correct.
And what's wrong with it?
Lists various encumbrances that should be paid by the town, and it lists a lot of things, not all of which we were really asking for the town to pay for, I believe. Library salaries, museum passes, were we asking for them to pay for museum pass? I didn't think so.
Yes. Well, no, actually, probably not.
Yeah,
I was asked not to ask for that again,
yeah,
one point.
yeah. So I think we just need to,
Most of them were-
I think we need to characterize them. I think the point was that we expected that the town should provide for recurring expenses for
Do we need
library
to
service.
list them to provide a fuller list?
I don't think we necessarily do.
Okay.
And I think it was also basic overdrive as well as overdrive advantage, wasn't it? If we were to list them, so. But I think we just need to make the point that we feel that recurring operating expenses to provide library services that the town expects, we feel should be paid within the town budget for the library. So if you want to just reword that, I don't care how. Maybe somebody else has a better thought.
Yeah,
Should we summarize without listing?
Yeah. That
We
makes
could
sense.
just-
Excuse me, who is speaking? Anne? Do you want to propose?
Tom was, but you could probably say the state aid reporting sheet lists various encumbrances that should be paid by the town, period, and not list them.
Okay, I'm good with that. Everyone else? Any thoughts on
think
that,
that-
Tom?
Technically, the state and the encumbrances are paid by the town. That's where the money comes from, even though it originally came from the state, but it was entered to the town budget. So it should be town appropriation. Should be the word rather than paid.
No, there's no town appropriation in state aid.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, or you could say through the town budget.
It should be paid by the town, right?
We're just, let's not quibble too much on this, but say through
Well,
the
no,
town
no, I
budget.
think that this is not quibbling.
No, can you
because
say
The
through
the
the
thing
town?
about state aid, it is not subject to appropriation. So if we think the town should be paying for these things, they should be said that they should be appropriated by the town.
Who are they paid? Who will pay it?
The state,
Town meeting will vote the budget, the appropriation.
But in the end, who pays it? I'm trying to figure out if this sentence is inaccurate when it says, will be paid by the town. Is that accurate or not accurate?
Well, it's more redundant because the money from the state aid goes into the town, right? And it's for our use, not subject to appropriation. But the things in state aid are paid for by the town. That's who writes the checks.
Can we just say through the town budget rather than,
They write the checks,
Town
Tom.
budget, town budget, we fine.
okay, let's do that. Okay, so
Paid
we've got
out of the town budget?
No,
So it's paid by the budget? Budget doesn't make a payment.
paid through the town budget.
Or should be included in the town budget or something like that.
Okay, that's good enough. Let's make that included in the town budget.
okay. Why did I lose my picture?
Sometimes it hides behind something.
You're
Page,
kind of on the top of your screen, Ann.
Yeah,
Um,
host attendee, should I get rid of that?
Take a look at view, Ann, at the top right-hand corner of your thing and pick gallery view.
There's no gallery view there to hit.
Or
do you
speaker
see
view?
a green arrow?
A green arrow, no.
You have a Zoom icon at
You
the
mouse
bottom.
over?
You have Zoom icon at the bottom of the page. A blue Zoom icon.
Yes,
Can you click on that?
Click that.
if I click on that, this group
know what
comes up.
Isn't that what you're looking for? What are you looking for?
On that,
Yeah.
click on the other box.
The one that's behind that one,
Yes, there you go, and then click on that.
on this?
Yep.
Okay, no, it goes
Click on
away.
it, click on it. There you go.
Okay, hey, you're all back.
And then-
okay, great. So let's move on, page 4. And the continuation section of number 7, which was new business about the fiscal 21 trustee goals, et cetera. Down at the bottom, the last line before you get to number 8, other suggested changes to the fiscal 22 trustee goals will be taken up at the next trustees meeting rather than strategic plan. Am I right about that, or am I really 21? 22. Yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me.
So it should say to the trustees' goals for 2021, right?
Well, I don't know what happened at the meeting, to tell you the truth. Maybe this is what we said. So maybe it's all right. Okay, well, let me just ignore that. Let's ignore me on that. Down at the bottom of that page, there's under equity and inclusion resolution, there's just a typo in the second of those lists, adult nonfiction ordered more than 30,
35.
35, I assume it is.
Good catch.
Page 5, if you would look at that, everybody. In the last paragraph under strategic plan, fiscal 20. I think it should say a final report needs to be made that summarizes and then insert progress in fiscal 20 on. And then go on the goals and actions listed in the strategic plan, period. I don't know what over the last 3 years has to do with it. It's just on the 1 year that we're reporting. So if we could cross out over the last 3 years and the sentence on strategic plan and insert the words after summarizes progress in fiscal year 20 on
Sorry to sound like a broken record, but what page are you on?
page 5.
No wonder I can't find it.
What number?
It's the last paragraph before marketing and outreach near the bottom.
I see it. Thank you.
Okay, we good with that? All right.
Yes.
And what other changes, anyone?
Yes, Carol, I have one right there, that
Thank-
next paragraph.
Okay,
Diversity programs, the last sentence. I am not working with the local authors, so it's what it could, what I believe I said was the book club, someone from the book club, not myself, will be inviting them to participate in the discussion, but it's not me.
Okay. What should we say, the club instead of Anna?
The club will arrange for,
Yeah, the committee members, or book club members will be inviting local authors.
That sounds good. Book club.
Yeah.
We'll be inviting local authors. Okay.
we just make it will invite.
Yes.
Good. Okay, any other changes? Hearing none, could I have a motion to approve these minutes with these changes?
So moved.
Thank you. Second,
Second?
thank you. All in favor? Anna?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
Rick,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
Jay,
Aye.
and me, unanimous. Thank you very much.
Can I ask just a question on process? Is it not possible to say, does anyone not approve? And if no one approves, we would consider it unanimous? Is that not allowed as a matter of process?
Now you're required to have a roll call vote for every
Okay.
vote under the order, Governor Baker.
We use Robert's rules, right? Is that correct?
Well, yes,
No.
but specifically under the governor's orders, you must have a roll call vote. You
Oh, I
can't
see.
sort of
Do it my way.
nod heads, yeah. So, okay, we're on to the director's report.
Okay. Two things. I need a vote to accept the gift that's listed.
May I hear a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Rick. Second.
Second.
All right, all in favor. Here we go. Anna,
Aye.
Kay,
Aye.
Rick,
Aye.
Tom.
Aye.
Thank you, Rob,
Aye.
Jay.
Aye.
And I thank you unanimously. We accept the gift list. Thank you. And we also have the holiday schedule, it looks like that we,
Thing, I need a vote on the holiday
yeah,
schedule.
but we need to probably talk about that for a minute beforehand. And there may be other things to do with it that you want to talk about in your report. Your revised sheet, did everyone get that before the meeting and sent out a revised, slightly revised holiday schedule
Yeah.
proposal? Did everybody get it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good. So I have no problem with any of this, except it worries me a little bit in terms of library service around Christmas time. Only should the library not be actually open on Sundays by then? And then, you know,
Depends on how great the vaccine is and if everybody gets it. And
yeah, I'm just thinking though, if you closed early on Thursday, and then
Yeah, but
you,
early is
Friday. Excuse me?
early is 5:30.
Yeah, but if you close earlier than usual, then you're closed on Friday, you're closed on Saturday. And if we weren't open on Sunday, that's a long time for the library to go without being open. I just wondered how the other trustees felt about that. And I do really appreciate that everybody needs the break, you know, and staff, and that's, you know, that's very important too. But does anyone have any comment on that, Anna?
I have a question, actually. I'm trying to figure out, we are assuming that by when are we back open? Because if
We're
that,
really this all presume, doesn't
Presume.
really assume anything, actually.
So it could
I-
work either virtual or if we go back to being open.
I think so, yes. Is that your intention, Anne?
If we were open on Sundays, we would open on the 26th, is it? Yes, on the 26th.
Right, yeah. But if we're closed, I don't know, that just worries me that we might need to revisit this, but I hate to change the schedule once we have it because everybody counts on it.
Well, what would you propose to do if we weren't open on Sundays then? Would you?
No, I
Nope.
don't know. I mean, I don't know that Thursday night, the day before Christmas Eve, not even Christmas Eve, but
But if we're not open on Sundays, we're not open at nights either.
well, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Well, I suppose.
It's
probably,
Monday night.
Yeah. Yeah, but full-timers would work till 12:30 that day. I don't know. Are there any, is there any,
Part-timers will work till 5:30. It's not like we're closing at noon like the rest of the town is.
no, I see that full-timers will work till 12:30, but part-timers till 5:30. I see that, yeah. Is there any trustee comment about doing something other than that?
Is this different from how it was done in prior years, or is this consistent with basically what you usually do?
This is
I don't-
consistent.
It's consistent. Well, is it really? I mean, what are we doing this year? The Christmas, it depends what day Christmas is on. I mean, instead of having, because Christmas is on a on a Saturday, it's being observed on a Friday, and then we're backing up to yet before that because it's the day before the day off.
And like I said, in what the information I sent to you, that's the big determiner right there. Christmas is on a Saturday, and according to the town's practice, it's deemed to fall on Friday.
Okay,
The town will be closed down. The town will close down at noon on Thursday.
yeah, well, I'm not asking when the rest of the town is closing. I'm just talking really about what we should do as a library on the day before Christmas, the day before the observed.
Carol,
Yeah, yes.
so I'm just thinking, so the only real problem is if we're open on Sundays by this time next year, then it's not a problem, right?
I don't
Because
see it as,
there's-
I think it's fine. I don't have any,
Yeah.
issue with that. It's just, it kind of worries me that we'd be closed for that long, a stretch.
I'm feeling optimistic that we're going to be open.
Yeah,
next year.
we probably will be, who knows, but probably will be. Nobody else seem to have any input on this, though.
I guess one more thing, generally how much traffic do we get around this time of the year also? I would imagine it's a little bit slower, so may that justify, this many, I mean, I'm not thinking of the library around Christmas time, so I don't know.
Maybe, although, people that don't celebrate Christmas are probably.
Right.
trying,
It's, and there's so many unknowns because we don't know if we're going to be back open or not, so.
If you-
Yeah.
It's more a matter of communication. If we can communicate that we're closing early that day, and I think we do have good methods of communication now, then that could mitigate the fact that the library will be closed for a few days.
So plan ahead, yeah.
And adding to Rob's idea is maybe we can just remind people of the digital downloads, right? Things could be downloaded, and by then we'll have this fabulous website.
Yes,
That's right.
solves everything.
Yeah,
Who will need to go to the library?
yeah, that's right, okay. All right, well, it's
Well-
getting better and better.
I do think Carol makes a good point about that, people who don't celebrate Christmas having 3 days of a closed library during a time, when people might want to. Is it possible to say here that the library would be open on a Sunday? Is that the Sunday? What would that be? The Sunday, the
26, yeah, 26. Yeah,
My idea is pass this, and if you want to change it when we get near there, you can certainly change it.
well, we could, I
I will
would,
know.
I would hate to do it because people make their plans, like employees, staff make their plans, but anyway.
It's not written in stone.
Okay, well, may I have a motion to adopt this this sort of revised proposal of Ann's that has the Thanksgiving Eve closure early?
So moved.
Who said that? Okay,
Okay.
yeah, thanks, Kay. Second,
Second.
thank you. All in favor? Let's go down the list. Anna,
Aye.
Kay,
Aye.
Rick,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
thank you. Rob,
Aye.
Jay,
Aye.
and me. I think I will go along with that too. Thank you. Unanimously adopted. Let's
Tom
see.
has his hand up.
Tom, yes.
I just looked up, the last time Christmas was on a Saturday was 1999, and I have no memory what happened.
I can barely remember.
I remember that day. I saw you at the library.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, don't admit you don't remember it, Tom. Yeah. So let's see what else.
You have any questions of anything before
Yes,
information of agenda for agenda items?
I was just going to note that the program that was funded by the LFN with Painting with Chelsea was so popular. Got a lot of compliments. That's a wonderful thing. And I really want to give kudos to the Paula and the whole children's staff. They seem to be, reaching out, doing all kinds of interesting things. Really a plus at this stage when everything else is so miserable. And on the Minuteman Library Network budget that you mentioned on the 5th page of your report, does our budget request, do you think, is that going to be adequate to cover? Or are we going to run short as far as our budget request to the town for Minuteman dues, which are not yet set, I take it?
Right, they're not. They won't vote on the budget until January.
Yeah.
Next meeting in January. It'll be very close.
Okay, all right, so we can use other funds if we have to, I guess. Okay, thank you.
We can move money around within our budget except for salaries.
Mhm.
You can't take anything out of salaries, but you
Okay,
can.
all right, good. Yeah, let's, I don't think I have anything else on your report, at least till we get to the financial. Let's go ahead to the financial reports. Or building and grounds. Anybody have anything on buildings and grounds? It looks like the town has just sort of put a hold on everything. And
Good idea on the lights, because the foyer is kind of dark, even on a bright day. So I think that's kind of a good idea.
yeah,
Have you been there recently? It's been fixed. It's really great.
Yeah,
that was a great idea. Yeah.
it was a great idea. Whose idea was it?
People at the desk at the
That's a
circle.
good idea.
Work staff.
Yeah.
Work staff.
Yeah, because it was kind of hard to read what was on the little tickies on each bag in the foyer. Yeah. So let's see, financial reports. Can I just start with saying that our budget request for fiscal 22 is going to be considered by the FinCom on the 16th, as Ann mentions. Who intends to attend that?
Ann and I.
I'll go.
Yeah, and I will go. Yeah. Jay?
I think so.
I mean, I don't know that we'll be participants invited to participate last year, and you had the floor some of the time. Rick was sitting next to you at the table, and he was not invited to speak even once, even when the whole discussion was about how the trustees spend state aid, which I thought was rather absurd. But anyway, have you had an appointment with Louise Miller, our liaison to the FinCom? Doesn't she usually contact you? I think you're muted again. I'm not sure I'm hearing you, Anne.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, that's great. Yeah,
Okay. She usually does, yes,
yeah.
but she
Oh.
has,
Do you have a contact information you could send me for her?
no.
No, you don't. Okay, you just
For
wait.
Louise Miller, I think I have an email address for her.
Yeah, I have an email address, but I haven't received anything back that I just wondered if maybe there's a better way. She's probably very busy, what with Wayland and Needham issues this year. Okay, thank you.
Well, I have a question.
Mhm. Yes, Ken.
So I attended that for the first time last year, and it was a little unclear to me what the procedure or the protocol was for sort of, I know they talked a lot about state aid and how the library has other sources of funding, and they seem very focused on that. But I thought maybe we should shift the focus to sort of pitching the things and why we think we need the items that we're asking for. And I didn't know what the procedure or protocol is for who can speak and when people can speak. Could the trustees say any, it was just a little fuzzy to me. And I was wondering if people who, Anne and others who are more experienced with that meeting know, what would work for the library to benefit the library.
I think that because last year we were all around that one table and you folks were sitting in the background, that makes it difficult for you to speak. But this year it'll be a Zoom meeting. So, wave your hand.
Wave your hand, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, Rick was sitting right next to you at the table though, and still he was not really able to participate. So we'll see. But my point is maybe you can, if there's a question you feel should be answered by a trustee, well, maybe Anne, you can kind of, in responding, I mean, it seems to be mostly the trustees are making their, the FinCom members are reading their little budgets and asking you questions about things. It's not so much a presentation. You've sort of already made your presentation, correct?
I can add anecdotally from other friends that I have in other libraries, Zoom meetings work a lot better with the FinCom because you're right there. You can wave your hand. You could say, I want to talk, and they really can't ignore you, So I think the lack of physicality is going to make a difference. So you folks should be able to say, you have every right to speak as our trustees. So I think that'll make a big difference, and it's going to be hard for, not that they ignore, but it's going to be hard for those folks to ignore anybody who has something they want to say. And I think Anne or I could certainly defer and say, call on Carol or Kay, whoever else is there, Rob, and say, could you address this?
I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, or make a point that, the trustees want to make some comments or state a position at the outset and lay out the groundwork on this.
You mean our policy regarding use of state aid?
Yeah, and if we want to bring up relevant statistics to lay out the groundwork in terms of where we think we stand
with other libraries.
Yep.
Yeah.
And why we're taking the stand.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's good. I think Anne and Dimitri, maybe you're going to be able to fill us in a little bit on the use of state aid at other libraries. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Anna, actually, I think Anna had her hand up before me.
Go ahead, Anna.
Thank you, Jay. Just wanted to be clear on, are all trustees attending or is there a few? What is the protocol on that? Because I think showing, strength in numbers may be another strategy.
It's a public meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
More is better.
Yeah.
So if it's possible, absolutely. Of course, more is better.
Okay.
That's good to know, because, last year I was unclear, are we supposed to be there or not supposed to be there?
Right.
It was a little fuzzy.
You are.
So,
You are.
so I have a question. First, if somebody can just confirm for me and remind me exactly when it is.
December 16th.
Say that again?
December 16th. And is that correct? Wednesday, December 16th?
Mhm.
Yes.
And
7
I suppose, so it's not the sort of thing where we would have a meeting of sorts before that to prepare for that. That's not something where as a group, we would be preparing for that. It doesn't work that way.
Well,
I guess this is that meeting.
That's what I'm trying to, so this is that meeting. Got it.
here we
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Just remember, more of you is better than less of you.
I think Rick is going to try to put together some statistics that are more recent than the ones that Greg put together that we had looked at when we were considering our own policy last January, I think it was.
Do you submit a written presentation in advance of the meeting of any sort?
No.
You just go into your budget right off, and then they start asking questions, and then they kind of take over. But Carol, you had asked for information on how other libraries spend their state aid. And a few years back, the MBLC did a survey, and 39.7% of people libraries spend their money on library materials, 12.9% on staff, and then the rest of everything is divided between construction, renovation, capital items, network membership. Some libraries don't even have enough money to pay their network bill. Computers, programming, save for a future project, which we did before we built this building. And then Dimitri very nicely checked for me with Newton. They use their money for larger capital type projects, furniture or equipment, things that aren't items that are too big for their regular budget. Natick used it to put RFID tags in all their books at their library and the little Bacon library. Get between these pages here. And Wellesley used it for editing assistance of the weekly newsletter. They use interns for that. And promotional marketing items such as lanyards and Janway products with Wellesley's logo on it, and for special other projects. And
So essentially, they don't
depend on it.
they don't depend on it for recurring expenses.
No, but a lot of libraries do.
Mhm.
So just to, if I might, it seems to me that it would be good for us to kind of try to steer the FinCom away from this idea. They seem to want to figure out how to spend the library's discretionary funding. And if someone could point out to them that, it's the trustees and the library director together who determines how to spend state aid and other discretionary funding, and focus more on things that we're asking the town to fund, like the communications specialist. I can't remember the title of that position, but what are our top priorities, and kind of focus on what the library is asking for, and kind of get them off their idea that they're going to figure out how they can use the state funds, state aid.
That would be wonderful, except they are obsessed with the fact that we have state aid, we have trust funds, and anything that they don't have control over really bothers them.
Well, I mean, I think we are in a very unusual, maybe unique position in that, among town departments, and that there are these other possible sources for funding at a time where, particularly this year, funds seem short. So, I don't think that, you have to think about how hard a stand you're going to take on things. I mean, you're not going to cut off what you consider essential library services or things that you know that the town expects to, services they expect from the library because the town, FinCom refuses to pay for them, you're going to use your state aid or some other funds, if you have them, to provide those services. I mean, they're not going to cut off your nose to spite your face. So that is the rub.
Right.
If I was the FinCom, if I was to take their point of view, what they'd say is, well, you have money. And so as long as you have that money, we're going to offset some of that amount of money from the budget because we'll save money by you using that money. And, they can make the argument that, we make the argument, well, these are ongoing expenses and state aid is not something that you can count on. And they will probably say, well, when we get to that point, we'll deal with it. But we're not at that point. And as far as we're concerned, we're going to offset some of that money because you can use that money for some of these things that you want and we can save the town money. I think that's what their point of view is. So
Yeah.
when we approach it, we have to approach it in a way that sort of counters that way of thinking. Because they'll say, well, yeah, I understand, if the state aid goes away or goes down, then you come back to us and we'll talk about it then. But then it's too late.
Right. Because the delay is, it'll kill you. Okay.
Kicker in that one is they have to give us a budget that's 2.5% higher than the average of the last 3 years, or you won't get state aid. You'll be decertified.
Mm.
So there's a little
Okay.
catch for us there.
Yep.
And what is the budget that we've requested? Just the basic budget without anything new? How much is that increased? What percent?
Increased enough.
Yeah, so that really is not jeopardizing our state aid.
And this has been submitted already, this budget?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we seen that full budget?
Yes, you have. I've shipped it to you.
Okay, I'm sure I have in the past. I just haven't looked at it recently.
Yeah. Okay. No, I think I asked you to send it out to everyone. So, yeah, I mean, so that's the rub, really. And I think we'll just have to see how it goes. I think all we can do is prepare our pitch and have our statistics among libraries that we think, other libraries that we think the FinCom would consider comparable to ours, and indicate that there's a variety and the trustees determine how they spend those funds. And for instance, Wellesley, does not spend it for recurring operating expenses. And we feel that that is the best practice. Yeah, that's I think all we can do right now. It's a tough year. I mean, at the moment, it looks like there will be free cash at the end. Some of our budget from this year may well go to free cash, and we'll be aiding in the effort to make up the shortfall elsewhere, some of the extra spending in the town this year. In any case, okay, let's look at some of the other financials. I sent out something to everyone about this affects state aid. The conference committee's budget was sent to the governor. Until the governor reacts to that, though, we won't know where the figures will end up. So that won't happen until after we meet with the FinCom. So theoretically, at least we're still in jeopardy on that, although I think we will be fine. And you pointed out that we were very underspent on the books and materials in our town budget.
It's the bad news. The good news is we spent, I just signed a whole batch of bills and brought them down today. They're not reflected on your report, but something like $12,000 in book and audiovisual bills. It was one of the largest I've ever seen.
Oh, okay. I didn't sign those.
No,
Or
they're
did-
not trust funds, they're regular bills.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. So those came out of the that part of the budget, and is the reason that had been sort of underspent is that books are coming out more slowly because of the pandemic, or just that, what is the reason? We're just not doing as much book selection because of the pandemic? We're too busy doing other things, or?
I think we're ordering, and I'm not sure they're coming out slower. Dimitri, do you notice things coming out?
Well, it's not so much slower. I think, weren't we asked at a certain point when the pandemic started not to spend?
That was
That
last year.
was last year, maybe. I mean, some things are coming out slower in terms of some nonfiction things. Otherwise, it's picked up. But I think there's a variety of reasons, over the last few months why.
Is it possible to make up for however much we're underspent? Or is it too
Oh,
late?
sure.
Who knows?
We can always burn money. We can always, spend. That's fine. We can make up for it.
The budget goes to June,
Yeah, end of June.
Yeah.
Anna, were you raising your hand? No, okay.
and we also haven't paid our periodical bill yet.
Still.
I thought it was due to come, but I guess it isn't quite due to come.
Okay.
Jay, to your point, yeah, we can catch up. That's not hard to
Okay.
catch up
We're
together.
counting on you to catch up.
In Greg's memory, yes. So the state aid account, there was no spending this month. And library trust funds, there seemed to be nothing that wasn't already discussed at a prior meeting. It's all was approved previously.
Do we have a state aid balance that the FinCom's going to point at and say, you've got this big pile of money?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We do.
The part that's not specific is this library equipment and services encumbrance. And then, of course, there's, the expected receipts in fiscal 21 that would be open to be spent in fiscal 22, assuming we do receive that amount. So, anything else on the financials? No? Okay, let's move along then.
Did you like those figures from the Mass Higher Education Cooperative?
Yes, those were good savings. Yeah, those are very impressive savings. Yeah. And the statistical report that it's included on page 6 to 7 of Ann's director's report. Yeah, pretty interesting that the numbers are climbing of curbside, borrowings.
I think it's both. the
Like
staff
both online and it's not just curbside, it is circulation in general.
and the patrons and the staff and patrons have sort of learned how to deal, how to, alter their behavior in terms of what they want to get.
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah, I really would love to see the statistics broken down so we could see, what kind of borrowing this was, how much of it was digital or, how much was curbside.
It would be useful for the FinCom meeting too, because, we ask for overdrive advantage. It's even more essential now than it was back a year ago.
Yeah, yeah. And think of who would be screaming if we did not have that. Everyone in town who appreciates having it. Okay, anything else on statistics? No, okay. New business. The only item of new business that we have on our agenda is just to begin talking about the fiscal 22 onward long range plan. Our current plan runs out in fiscal 21. And Dimitri, I think Anne has delegated to Dimitri to work on
And
that for the library, and Jay for the trustees has volunteered to make himself a part of the discussion, be
and the
helpful.
two of us have a meeting tomorrow morning at 9:30 to talk about that, talk about some firms that I
Okay.
About some ideas how to get started in January.
Okay, it's possible. I mean, it's not required to have a long range plan, honestly. I was so surprised to find that out. Also, that strategic plan doesn't have to be a 5-year plan. It could be a
Mhm.
2-year plan.
Mhm.
You know, and maybe given where we are, you know, maybe we're not in a position to do a 5-year plan right now. I don't know, you know.
We'll start the discovery process, and again, adversity is an opportunity. So this is an opportunity for us to remake and redo a lot of what we do with our services. And also, it's a perfect storm that we're going to start, on this process of getting a new website too, and that'll
Yeah.
be a huge part of the outreach as well. So yeah, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, good.
Me
All
too.
right. Thank you for working on that, both of you. Moving on, unless there's some other new business, any other? Okay. Old business website. I understand that Dimitri and Anne, you've chosen Sterling Brandworks for the web designer, and they will be the vendor, and that you're working on a contract process with another department of the town, which is great. I just wanted to do two things. I wanted, for one thing, to just say that we're, I think you probably appreciated the input that you got from trustees, individual trustees on this along the way, sort of putting together their view of what is lacking in the current website and kind of helping to move this along for the administration, and very successfully. That it seems that all of those three individuals who you've called on for help on this have agreed to continue to just be reference people as needed as this process goes along.
They are very much involved in this still.
Yeah, but on an individual basis. And I think that we will, yeah, I guess as trustees, I guess I want to thank them for the time that they spent, helping out on this. And also just wanted to have the trustees in general, if I could have a motion to just express our enthusiasm and agreement with your choice, Anne and Dimitri, of the Sterling Brandworks as the vendor.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that, Rob, Kay, and Jay have framed the argument so well and did such a good job in the research that they moved the needle that had been stuck for 5 years in a relatively short period of time and didn't let up. And so I just want to express my appreciation. It's moved things light years from where it was, and it's going to have a really big impact at a time that's so critical. So yeah, I make a motion to
Thank you. We're a good team.
Yeah, well, with
Thank you.
staff, Dimitri and
Well,
Danielle and the people from the town were helpful in sorting this thing out as well. I think it's been a wonderful bit of teamwork, that you have a good group working for you, Anne and Dimitri, on this effort. So.
And just to give you an update, we've had meetings with Dave Davison and the town council. We're moving forward on the contract. I believe, Dimitri, have you already sent along our revisions to the statement of work to follow up with Sterling on that front?
I have not. Was Kay going to do that, or was I going to do that?
no, I think at this point, I don't think I should be in the middle of negotiations
fine,
with
that's
Sterling.
fine.
So I
if you
think
want to
I
send
sent
it
you
out,
the final, right,
Yep.
that we discussed last
Yep.
weekend. I think at this
I'll
point,
send it. Yeah.
it's
Okay.
your ball.
But we're all on the same page. We're moving forward on 2 parallel tracks, and it's reasonable to expect that the contract, I don't think I'm over optimistic to think that that'll be done before the holiday, if not sooner.
Oh, great. All
Rob,
right.
is that your sense, Rob? You think that's over optimistic?
It's certainly possible. There's just a lot that depends on how flexible town council is with the contract. But I think I think we definitely helped move it forward, and at least in concept, town council is on the same page as Sterling, which is good.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Could I guess I hate to have a roll call on this, but is there an applause or something we'd like to give to the choice of Sterling Brand Works and to all the effort that's gone into this? It's really not a vote. It's nothing. Yeah. Okay.
Well, we
thanks.
could just say the trustees endorse the choice of Sterling Brandworks and congratulate the whole, the collaboration between the trustees and.
Okay, I'll
library
consider that a
and the
motion.
town.
Who wants to make it other than Kay? Anna?
Oh, I
Kay'll
thought-
make
I
it.
thought-
I'll second it.
No,
I
you
thought
can't.
Rick made a motion already. I can second it.
I don't know if he made a motion or not.
Yeah.
Yes, but I would love that Kay's wording was dead on.
Okay, so Rick adopts Kay's wording and Anna, will you
second
second
it.
that one? Thank you. All in favor, Anna,
Aye.
Kay,
Aye.
Rick,
Aye,
Tom, Tom, are you here? Yeah, you're muted. Yeah.
thumbs up or thumbs down, Tom. Give us a visual.
Yeah, okay, I see Tom, Rob,
Aye.
Rob, Jay.
Aye, and thank you.
Okay, unanimously approved, and that motion to endorse this choice that the administration has made and the marvelous teamwork. All right, so is the equity and inclusion resolution. There was material in the director's report about what has happened in the last month on that. Who prepared that? Dimitri, is that you or Anne?
Both of us jointly.
Both
I
us,
get
okay.
information from staff. She gets it. We both put it together.
Yeah, in terms of programs, I don't know if this is fair game, but we did co-sponsor the Diversity Initiatives Diversity Summit, and we didn't write in actually any programs that we put on, and so I suppose you could plug that one in. Is there anything else on that? Okay, I think we're doing what we can on that. Seems like. Anna.
Yes. Part of the MacGyver series will have a component of discussions of issues of racism. Actually, two of the programming. So can we kind of funnel those to the report? Is that, or does it have to be separate?
Oh, I think you can. I maybe wait until it happens.
Yeah.
Put it
Okay.
in that month's progress report. I would think that would be, completely
Okay.
appropriate, as well as the book group, the diversity
That's right.
group. Yeah. Okay.
Tom's got his hand up.
Tom?
Yes, I was at the Diversity Summit. I participated in that as well.
Yeah, I went to that too.
If you want to take roll.
And I
And
was
also
there
I
too.
participated in
I went-
Facing History for Ourselves with Isabel Wilkinson last week and talking about the book Cast. If we want to add things to it.
Good. Yeah. Do you want to make notes? Do you want Tom to email you so you have it written down somewhere?
Email me for the next report.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll do it the next report. Yeah.
Okay. Strategic plan, fiscal 20 trustee goals, final report. I guess, I don't think we're ready to vote on that because I don't know, I didn't hear from a number of people back as to whether they'd reviewed their section. So I think we'll have to just wait another month on that. Of those of you who have not responded, would you take a look at your section? I based the final report is judgy as it seems. It is something we're trying to do. So to record progress in the year. So if sometimes your report was early in the year, for instance, Tom's was early. I just tried to fill in as best I could, but I don't want to make it up. So if you would please each look at your section if you haven't already. And just let me know and I'll incorporate whatever changes you want in your portion. And then we'll take it up at January meeting. Okay,
And that will postpone mine for a month, right?
that'll postpone yours,
Isn't mine due in January?
your next report, your next interim report.
Elections, I think, is due in
Yeah, I
Jan-
think you actually did it in February, didn't you?
February. Okay,
Yeah, I think you did it in
Okay.
February.
that'll be fine.
Be nice if we got these, done before the whole next year's gone. Marketing and outreach. I had asked Kay about whether she might, I kind of begged, I have to admit, whether she might be willing to do something again, a marketing piece about progress and things that are going on at the library, the way she did last year, which would be a public facing document as opposed to our sort of academic report that we were just talking about. The question is really whether we can get enough sufficient statistics. I don't think we have to make it look just like last year's report and change the number. It's either because there's so many different things that are happening this year that weren't happening, pre-COVID, that, we might just stress different things.
Have we had last year, we had an annual, like all statistics for the whole year sheet, which actually was very helpful in that I could see that there were trends, certain things were up and certain things weren't. And it was a way of summarizing, what good things happened at the library. So I don't know if that's possible to get, or is it, I know Deborah Lovett is out. So is that something that we can get our hands on an annual statistics, or?
Not until June.
No, I mean, the last year. Last
Oh,
year's.
Last year's
Yeah.
report. Yeah, I can give you last year's report.
I don't think you circulated that one in the summer, did you? I don't think so. I think we were missing some statistical reports and during the shutdown. And I don't see why we couldn't, probably can just be put together, but I don't think you did put it together.
Well, I'll get one for you at any rate.
Yeah, I mean, I would think a lot of that would be in the state reporting that you did do, of course. Okay, so so that would be great. It doesn't have to be in the next 2 weeks or anything, but it would be great if we could work toward that. Thank you, Kay. Diversity programs, I don't know if there's anything new. Anna, anything that you think of?
No,
Yeah.
we are all set for the book club to start in January, and then the next one will be April after that. We're just waiting for promotion. So as soon as I have the flyer, which will be hopefully soon, I'll share it with the group.
Okay, terrific. Thank you. Facebook. Rick, do you have anything that you wanted to talk about on Facebook?
No,
For the
we're still reposting for the library, so.
Did Sarah Breen ever respond about whether?
And I wanted to ask Rick this question. She does post, and she can post. It's legal for her to post.
Good.
Oh, good.
She wanted
I've
to know-
actually, sorry, Ann.
Good. She wanted to know if you wanted her to do all the posting, because she wants to be careful that you don't do something and then she does it too.
Yeah, maybe we should talk and do a cutover, a cutover, so that, then we know, because basically what I just do is I just repost to the Needham group on Facebook. And
Why don't you call her?
okay, I will.
Yeah.
They'll reach out to her.
Expect your call.
She has posted directly to the Needham group for a couple of the recent ones about the Chromebooks and the printers, so they definitely started.
Yeah,
Good.
posted that, yeah.
And there were other sites that, or other Facebook pages that might be a good place to post. I think were mentioned at the last meeting. Anna?
Yeah, follow up on that. It will work only if you are a member of the particular group that you're in.
I see.
That you, so some Facebook groups are private, some are open, so it could get a little tricky, but what I would like to suggest is for those of you who are on Facebook, just share with your network and share into the groups that you're in. So that's what I've been doing. I've been posting Needham parents, Needham special education parents, the mid-school parents also, and a couple of other parents groups. So, but I'm members of those groups, and some of them are private. So
I think you're right, Anna, because I do that. I share all our posts, like with Sarah, I spread it all over the place, and I know librarians all over the 6 states. So I mean, not that it needs to go that far, but it does. Sometimes I'll get a response from somebody, well, I live in Eden, but I didn't know we do this, because they belong to some library group or somewhere where they happen to see it. So it's worth spreading it as far as possible.
Okay.
An ex-resident of Needham, her name's Jan Dolan. She moved to Beacon, New York, and she ended up being a trustee of the Beacon, New York Library. And so I'm friends with her, and I see what the Beacon Library posts, and sometimes they post kind of neat stuff. And then I just sort of share it typically to the LFN website, page, because I sort of oversee the LFN page. So if it's interesting stuff, I share from that standpoint.
Okay. All right.
Did you share that New York Times book list to the LFN?
Yes, yes.
Okay, that
Yep.
today. I saw that today, yeah.
Children in the library policy. And it looks like Paula and Ann put their heads together and decided that that's somewhat puzzling bullet within the policy that we passed last month. Really didn't need to be there at all, since we don't seem to be having trouble with children in the elevators.
And the elevators aren't in the children's room.
No, I mean, but the policy doesn't just govern the children's room, it governs children in the library. So, I don't think it was out of place, but it was a puzzling. It sort of caught your attention.
So if you will all vote to
So,
that one statement, this policy will be finished.
yeah, so unless anyone has any discussion about that, let's just see if we can get a motion out there to amend again. And Ann, if it does get amended, will you put both dates that it was adopted in November and amended in December? Can I have a motion on this revised policy? Anyone? Would anyone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Rick. Second, anybody?
Second.
Thank you. Thank you. Any discussion? All right, let's go down the list. Anna, all in favor? Thank you. Kay,
Hi,
Rick?
just so you know, my internet connection's coming and going right now.
Oh dear. Okay.
Been there.
Tom? Yeah,
Aye.
thank you. Rob?
Aye.
Jay?
Aye.
Rick, did you vote? Yeah, thank you. Unanimous. Thank you. That is done. All right, let's go on to the fiscal year 2021 trustee goals, which is what we're in 2021 right now. I kept adding to this, so I have to admit this is probably a little annoying, but see if we can get some goals on the books before the year is half over. Does anybody want to make a motion to adopt these trustee goals, and then we can discuss if anyone has any wording changes or thoughts on it?
What you're referring to as goals is this report on the progress, correct?
No, I'm not. No, it is not. This is,
That's what I got when in the document that says TG goals. I have this report on progress on fiscal year 20. Am I the only one that it looks like that?
there is another email, Jay.
Okay.
There's an email on the 29th, Sunday, with another slight revision of the proposed 20 trustee goals for 21, fiscal 21.
I see. Okay, thank you.
And this last one was adding number 3 and moving number 3 down to be number 4. And so that in addition to supporting the strategic plan for its last, next to last year. Actually, this is last year. We would also have these other goals. Hello? Is there any discussion of this? Can I just have a motion to put this on the floor first? And then,
I think that would be a very good thing to do.
So moved.
thank you, Anna. Second. Second.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Any thoughts on this? Any changes? In that case, let's have a vote. All in favor. Anna?
No, hold on, hold on. What I want a little clarification here. This is just for one, this is just for this coming year, starting July, right? July 20
Last July.
last July. So this is kind of halfway through what
We're almost halfway through the year that these
Okay,
goals.
got it.
Yeah, yeah. So,
so there's, you know, with, okay, so. that's
And
fine.
I had one other question too.
ahead.
So I'm a little fuzzy on like the relationship between this and the strategic plan. And is this the same thing we did last year where we go through the items on our list with various library staff and report back on progress? Is that?
That's that other document I was referring to, that report on progress.
Yeah, well, part of one of our, in the past, our trustee goals were to kind of work with staff and to figure out whether these various goals and actions underneath them were moving along and find out and report back. So that was the role, and that's sort of number 4 in this current trustee goals, with one trustee assigned to each goal. But this year there seem to be these other things that we ought to be putting front in addition, for the trustees to be paying attention to. So
So each of us would take our own section in the goals and do that process where we report on progress. Is that?
do the same
correct?
thing as last year. Yeah,
Yeah,
do the
okay.
same thing as last year on the same section, and unless, you know, you
Buy on the machine at the doctor's
Okay.
office.
decided to do a different section. Yeah. Are we all set on that, or?
So this will be done by June of
That's right.
2021, and then we'll start with a new one that Jay and Dimitri are starting to kind of brainstorm on, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So let's have a vote on this. Anna,
Aye.
Kay? Raise your hand if you can. I can't.
Aye.
really- Yeah, you said you might have intermittent service.
Yeah.
Rick,
Aye.
thank you. Tom?
Aye.
Rob?
Aye.
Jay?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll go ahead with these trustee goals. Thank you. Now, the library and exhibits
Oh.
committee, art committee, yeah. Hey,
Yes.
do you have any? Thing you would-
Not a lot new, except the one nice development is that Gay Ellen, and I guess, I'm not sure, she may have worked with Danielle as well, has put the art exhibit on the art exhibits page. So it's still below the fold because of the usual problems where you have this big picture, a static photo that takes up a lot of the page. But it's She did a nice job. Gay Allen, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. And actually, I did it myself. And
Okay.
give me a second and I will go and pull the full thing up. So give me a moment.
It's a nice exhibit and it's much easier to,
Okay.
find.
Okay, that's not, there we go. All right, so this is actually what the front page looks like now. And this is, let me go down. This is where
Oh,
the
this is
current
not-
one is, but let me go to where our new one is. So give me a moment. Okay, I want to go to, of course I got to find the damn thing.
So exhibits and events.
Here we go. All right. So, okay,
Not
no, that's the
programs.
wrong page.
Not programs, yeah.
Yeah, it's not programs. Let me go back to the right page.
No, it's
It's still a issue.
exhibits and
There we go.
events.
There we go. So we still have the usual thing, but this is what the new exhibit looks like. Get rid of you guys. So let's see it better. So it's now, we have the little paragraph. The titles are now to the side because I have the full 2/3 of the page that I can put their exhibit on. And now will let me put the titles for the pieces next to it. So it's a much better working for us at this point. I'm going to see about trying to enlarge the print next month on this piece right here. I've already been in contact with the current artist coming in, and we'll see what he's going to give me, and I will play some more. I'm probably still going to keep both locations going at the moment till you just can switch over to new sites and nobody gets lost trying to find this, but this will be probably the better image for them. And this is what I have put a link to in the newsletter.
Great.
Yes, and Gay Allen, now that we have it on this separate art exhibits page,
Yeah.
let's include in all the publicity this URL. this
Oh, I
link.
will be. It will be.
Oh, yeah, so people can click directly through and actually see
Oh,
it.
yeah. It will go directly into all of our PR and everything else we put out about this. It will have that URL.
Yep.
I have a question. Is the only way to see the paintings to watch them go by, or is there a way to
Unfortunately,
set them up on a page
yes.
where
We
you
will
can click?
not discuss the limitations on this site. I could probably put every single image up on its own, but however, it would be very, very long to scroll through them
Yeah.
all. So unfortunately, this is what we got. I can slow down the slideshow a bit.
You can, yeah, I think we should slow it a little bit.
I will slow it a bit. I will tell you that there are something like, I think, 32 images for this particular show, which is why they're moving a little bit fast.
Oh, okay.
Because otherwise people will not sit for 5 minutes to go through all those if we slowed it down.
In terms of the statement of work for the next website, is this something that we'd want to fix?
Oh,
that
yeah.
we would be able to make, Dimitri, I'm not sure, if that's already covered, but
So
it seems
here's,
like ideally we would be able to look at a number of pictures and click on the ones that you see a larger
so
image.
here's the interesting thing. I am going to be for another organization running their art exhibit, which will be virtual online. We're going to be using our WordPress site to pull together each artist's page. So I am going to be learning all about how to do this and what we will need to ask for from our web designer to make sure that the art page is going to be something that is usable.
Yeah, that's great.
So we got 2 for coming up. All right, let me
To
stop the
answer
share.
your question, Jay, I think we should be okay. It's covered within there.
And I'm sorry, can I just ask one more question? I think this stuff looks beautiful, these works, but is there a way to add information about the artist and, in that section?
Unfortunately, what it comes down to is the titles are taken directly from how the picture is saved, which means that I would have to put in a big, huge URL for each image being saved, and that undoubtedly will break it.
Well, it's probably easier when it's not a group show. So
If it's one person, they'll definitely have information in the above paragraph above the images.
Yeah.
Much easier, but for a group showing, it's very tough to do it.
Yeah.
Danielle?
Just so, I'm not sure if you knew or anyone else, but just so everyone knows that with the needhamma.gov website, you can just do like, you know, how the events, exhibits and events bookings number is 3168. So if you just put in needhamma.gov/3168, it will take you directly to that page. So you don't need the whole URL.
Oh,
You just
good
need
to
that.
know.
Yeah.
3168, okay.
So it saves some sanity.
Because I'll probably be doing some publicity, helping promote the next artist, go see Davidoff, the abstract sculptor. So I'll try to get the word out, and that's good to know. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, shorter is better.
Question for Jay. So the new website is going to be holding, allowing multimedia, so not only pictures, but video, right? Is that part of also the requirements? Okay,
I think potentially, yes, that's the plan.
Yeah.
okay. That'll be something I will be.
Yeah,
I will
so
stress.
Dimitri, to speak to that, Dimitri, you are going to have a conversation with Sterling about the statement of work and, you know,
I'm
so
sure they'll
those
want-
are,
Once I submit it, I'm sure they're gonna want to have a conversation.
yeah, okay, sounds
Yeah,
good.
so I'm gonna, yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. MacGyver, is there anything new or different, Anna, or?
No, we're just moving along with the programming. We set the dates for the read story time for children. That is going to be, of course, blanking on the date right here. It is the Galen. Is that the 31st, right? I think, yes, the 31st of January.
31st of January at 5 p.m.
Yes, 5 p.m. And then we are having February 21st, we're having Gloria Grice and Reverend Katie Scudera talking about slavery in Needham and New England. So those have been confirmed. So we're just moving along with the logistics and the programming.
Great.
And if you can send me what little description you have for the February 21st one, I can get started on that.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
The story time is at 5 in the afternoon?
Yes.
We have a Friends program scheduled at 2 p.m.
I see, okay. All right.
Yeah, this MacGyver series is not following conventional times.
Things convention,
We're definitely out of the box on this one.
right? Yeah, well, it sounds like a good set of programs anyway, so that's great.
Just one comment.
Yes.
Okay, not about the art association.
How are you,
I
Tom?
looked up the Needham Art Association, huh?
You're looking very tall tonight, Tom.
Yeah.
This is a really weird view.
This is the third device I've tried to connect with.
The
My computer.
laptop.
Yeah, this is now the iPad.
It's
You
a
know.
laptop,
No, this is an iPad.
Okay.
but it's in your lap.
It is now, yes. But I just looked up the Needham Art Association organization's website, and the same exhibit is there, and it's a little different. I don't know how they were able to do it, but I'm sure they have a better system than Civic Plus
Definitely.
with its limitations.
Yeah.
But because if you wanted to do that, you can all the same things, you can scroll down and see them.
Okay.
I think it's the same exhibit.
It is the same exhibit. They had more control in what they could put up on it.
Yeah, yeah. But no, just saying
Yeah.
that. That's what we can look forward. We can look
Until we
forward
get
to
this
that.
website up and running, we're kind of stuck.
We can look forward to that. Yes.
Yeah, we can make these modest improvements, which I think are great. And thank you, by the way, Gail, and I see that Ann asked you to put up the Christmas hours.
Yes, they are up.
Yeah, thank you. Friends of the Library, Jay, you have anything?
Yes, I'll just mention that we have a couple of interesting programs scheduled for the end of January that we've decided to promote sort of, as a pair. The first one on January 24th is a senior executive from the Oxford University Press, and this will be Zoom events, obviously. We'll be talking about dictionaries in a digital age and the Oxford University Press, and he looks like he'll be very interesting. They're sort of promoted as a pair for word lovers. And the next Sunday, January 31st, we have a woman named Ruth Margolin who's done, constructed crossword puzzles for the New York Times and the Sunday Times Magazine and others. And she's going to do a presentation about, constructing and preparing crossword puzzles. And, I think that there's a large audience for that we'll hope to
Sounds like-
appeal, to a broad audience,
Yeah,
both in Needham and even beyond potentially.
sounds like fun, yeah.
Will she give us any hints or clues on how to solve the crossword puzzles?
I would imagine clues would be something she has to refer to.
Maybe how to make them up instead of how to solve them,
We want a cheat sheet.
yeah. Library Foundation, Joan?
Well, we're not meeting in December. We meet again in January. And donations are coming in. We don't have a total as yet. And we're quite excited. In January, we're going to have Lois Bacon join our meeting. So she can give us some good history about the Library Foundation and why it was formed.
Great, okay.
Can I add one more question or comment with regard to the event in January for Gay Ellen? Because I think we have a beautiful poster for the two events, and I wasn't sure, Gay Ellen, if you're on. Am I correct in assuming that the registration for Assabet has happened? So we can
It's going to
sharing
be
this
happening by the
information?
end of this week. It will be live. Just as we announced in the newsletter mid-December, it will be ready for mid-December.
Great, just checking.
I'm working on it right now, and the poster will be hopefully done by the end of this week too. Posters for everybody.
This is the same poster that Margaret had passed along to you?
No, she did not. She just gave me images, so I have images to work with.
Okay.
What I have is her press releases.
Jay,
Okay.
Jay, why don't you do this offline with Gay Ellen? Because this
Sure,
is really
fair
something
enough.
you probably can
Yep.
work out. Yes, Joan, yeah, was there anything else for your report?
No,
Oh,
that's it. Thanks.
Okay, all right, great. All right, thank you. We are up to trustee comments. Who has a trustee comment? Tom, I can usually count on you.
Not today.
My God, we're ahead of schedule.
Oh my gosh, this is unprecedented, I think, at least in my tenure. So, okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Oh, everybody wants to do that one. Yeah, okay. Tom, I'll take yours. Hannah? You
Second.
Second, thank you. All in favor, Anna?
Aye.
Okay,
Hi.
Rick,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
Jay, and me, unanimous. Thank
Wait
you.
a second, I didn't even get a chance to vote. You
Didn't I
skipped
say
over-
Jay?
I'm
Oh.
having a lot of fun. I'm not sure I'm ready for this.
Come on, man, it's 8:30 on the dot.
I think you're outnumbered. You're outnumbered, Jay.
I'm
But
gonna
you
run
can-
run over there. You ever see that before? Aye, I vote aye, Carol. I'm
You
good.
can hang on though if you'd like, yeah.
No, I'm good.
All right, well, thank you all. And please do send me, just, please, I know it's not fun, but look at your section of that trustee progress report for last year. And so we can just